Harold Lefty Williams has tasted success on the basketball court and in life. But his journey was far from easy.
Well, I grew up in Jersey City, New Jersey. I started in the projects, Montgomery Street projects. My mom did the best that she could. 8 of us, there's 5 sisters. I have 2 brothers, one on my father's side, but my mom also took care of him. My father was in and out of my life. I was mentally and physically abused at the hands of my father. He was an alcoholic. I'd go to school at times with a closed eye. I remember in the 3rd grade, I have my sunglasses on, and the teacher say, "Take your glasses off." And what I'm doing is I'm making jokes because I don't want to take them off and reveal as a black eye. So the easy way out for me was to joke and be ultimately thrown out of the classroom.
Because his grandfather taught him at an early age, Harold believed in God. He would lie in bed at night and pray that God would give him his own unique gift.
I remember I had just gotten in big trouble. I can't remember what it was for, but I remember being sore, laying in my bed, and I prayed and I asked God. I said, if you can just help me go all around the world. Because see, I associated people who could fly with people having money, and we never were able to fly, period. When we got a chance to move out of the projects, we moved on the street, Gardner Avenue. In front of the house was a tree. So I'd get a milk crate, flip it over, had a hammer out the bottom of the milk crate, and I'd hammer it in front of the tree.
That's when Harold discovered his deep passion and love for the game of basketball.
I had no clue that he was going to use this round basketball and a milk crate to spark something on the inside of me, to strengthen it even more, to get ready for my journey.
Harold was driven to succeed at the highest level, and as a rare left-handed shooter, he was a standout on his New Jersey high school basketball team. Division I scholarship offers were surely soon to follow, with only one thing standing in his way.
You see, in order to qualify, to be NCAA qualified for a college scholarship, you have to have a certain score in your SAT, and it has to balance out with your school GPA, grade point average. Well, there was a problem. I didn't score high on my SATs, so therefore, the schools that I could have possibly went and played for and got a scholarship, it didn't happen for me.
The door to Division I closed when Harold's SAT scores came back extremely low, and he was forced to attend a smaller, less prestigious Division III school.
So I ended up playing Division III basketball at Montclair State University, where that's basically recreational. When you're done, you're thankful you got your degree, and you go off into your job.
Even with the disappointment of missing out on the Division I spotlight, Harold was committed to improving his game, getting his degree, believing that God would soon open another door. He even made a strange deal with God.
So my first year in college, I pick up and I'm trying to really get in his word, because now it's my first year really on my own, like literally away from everybody, you know? And I'm trying to read this King James Version Bible, right? It's a lot of these and thous, and I said, man, I can't understand this. I close it up and I begin to get frustrated. So I told the Lord, I remember kneeling down in prayer, I told the Lord, I said, if you give this to me, I promise you I'll read it, I promise you.
Harold's dedication paid off, as in his final year, he was awarded with Defensive Player of the Year honors and even made the Dean's List for academic achievement.
When I finished school in May of 2000, it was time to move on. It was time to figure out what is the next chapter, because I wasn't Lefty yet. What's the next chapter for Harold? And I went down to a free agent camp. I went down and played, and I thought that this was it for me. I thought that a lot of other opportunities would come out of this, and it didn't pan out the way I thought it would.
It looked like another door closed, and the dream of playing in the NBA got even further away. Harold hopped on a plane and spent a few seasons playing overseas in Europe and Asia, but time away from family and the culture shock forced him to make a tough decision.
I don't know, I was frustrated with trying to communicate with the language. And I said, you know, I'm done. I tell my agent, I said, listen, man, if you can find me a job making decent money, I'm fine with that. And then I started this job in Merrill Lynch, and I never forget. I will never forget. It was a Saturday morning. I had just come in the office, and I got ready to log in. Holy Spirit spoke to me as clear as I'm speaking to you today. He said, you must go back in order to go forward. I said, huh? And I closed my eyes. And I'm like, oh, Lord, what is this about? So I was a little on edge, so I backed away from the desk. Called my mom and I told her what, God had been telling me, and she began to actually cry on the phone too, and she began to confirm what the Lord had spoke to me. I hung up, I typed the letter of resignation. This is purely on faith, not knowing where I'm going.
Harold gave his dream of professional basketball one more shot, and this time, he was determined to do it God's way.
I came off the job thinking this is it, I got my instructions, it's coming. But you know what, I had another delay, and I had no clue that it was coming. I thought that after my obedience, I was coming into what God had for me.
Even with this newfound hope, it seemed every open door was closing before he could walk through.
I still felt that this was it for me to move on, to go to the NBA, and it didn't happen. And I had doors slammed in my face and deals blown up in my face. God had me in the wilderness. What I mean by the wilderness, he had me prepare, train, and seek him, and I do different Bible studies with my brothers and sisters for a while.
This time, Harold didn't quit. He applied the same work ethic to his faith that he did to his game. Harold didn't know it, but he had caught the eye of a scout for the world-famous Harlem Globetrotters.
They flew me to Houston, Texas, to try out. I was so nervous, I stunk up the joint the first day. So the second day I'm coming down. And this is where we start to do some things and actually do some showman stuff, different tricks, different, the wonderful circle that everyone's learned to grow to love and see, which is the magic circle. And I'm in the magic circle and I'm doing some things, and next thing you know, it's time to go through the acting part of it, because the showman is a great entertainer. He can capture the audience like that. It's very important to have that.
Harold left his Harlem Globetrotters audition feeling confident that this was it. But days went by without hearing a thing. Then, the phone rang, and it was the call that he had been praying for all of his life.
I got a phone call from Jeff Munn, CEO. He said, we're gonna name you Lefty. You all right with that? I'm looking at the phone, of course, yeah. I'm okay with that,
Harold Lefty Williams finally fulfilled his dreams and got to share his unique gift with thousands of fans inside some of the world's most famous arenas. And he did it God's way.
Not only did the Lord allow me to fulfill my dreams, not only did he allow me to play with the world-famous Harlem Globetrotters, he allowed me to be the first ever left-handed showman in Globetrotter history. And then he had him name me Lefty. And then I began to realize that he was there all the time, and I realized that a delay was not a denial.